Hey everybody, this is Rydo, and we are back with another episode of Plague Inc. Evolved. We are going to be playing as the Simian flu, and doing a lot of it actually. So let's just jump into the game. I'm gonna call this Monkey Pox. I hope that I haven't used this one before. Maybe I have, maybe I haven't. Let's see. Oh, where do I want to start? Let's start in the Balkan states, why not? It's on casual about. Might as well just start wherever you want to start. You can certainly mess yourself up bad. If you chose, for instance, Greenland, you might have a little bit more of a difficult time. But after you've played this game several times and figured out the whole how everything works, it's not too bad. Oh yeah, that reminds me. Early episode I suggested different maps. So if you tried to infect like Pangea, or maybe you go fictional maps like the Lord of the Rings, or some other planets that had different things. That would be actually cool if you did a whole Lord of the Rings theme, and then you'd have each of those different species, the 5 armies species, have all of them be affected differently or not affected at all by the same disease. That would be pretty cool actually. If we start getting away from human anatomy, or you could certainly have this planet, but have this planet infected by, run by dinosaurs in the past, or say maybe dinosaurs stayed the dominant species or class of creatures. I don't know if dinosaurs are all the same species. I guess they're not. I don't think they would all classify as the same species. They're too varied. Yeah, actually no, for a fact they're not the same species, but they probably are the same phylum or class. Although I couldn't tell you which would be accurate. Or you could have just dogs, cats, pigs, all creatures that likely might be the dominant species in the future if humans somehow died out from something. Or you could go a whole career mode. Maybe that's how you do this, is you have like a career mode where you start at Pangea with the dinosaurs, and then you kill out one species that's particularly weak, and then you kill out the next species that's a little bit stronger, and then you kill out the next species that's a little bit stronger, and you just work that way. Every career skips a few thousand years, and you're on to the next group of dominant species, all the way up to humans, and then you get rid of the humans, and then whatever creature survives, which could be randomized. Yeah, that would work, just like a whole list of creatures and their family trees. Or it could be, even instead of the career mode telling you specifically what species to eliminate, you get the pick. So in some playthroughs you let the dinosaurs survive and evolve, and in some scenarios you let the mammals survive and evolve. Oh yeah, there's so much you could do there. Having a whole different type of creature. That's kind of what apes, the simian flu is that the apes react a little bit different, but you could go so much further. Unfortunately, I kind of feel like the creators of this game aren't well funded enough, is probably the best way to say it, or they don't have enough people on their team to go that far. But maybe they could get the base work going for something like that, and then get people to contribute volunteers to contribute, kind of like the scenario editor is now. People with the scenario editor could make their own scenarios. I'm just not sure how often that, how varied they're going to be with the way it's set up now. Because even the official scenarios aren't very varied. Only the very first one, the Black Death, was varied, and then the others were barely changed a little. Playing on fast forward, it's going a little slow. More in Russia. I like to stay at 3 colonies. It seems to work. Fire should be an element in this game too. There should be like random events where wildfires burn out diseases sometimes, or cause the airflow that spreads diseases, or cause dead animals that spread diseases. All of those could work. There we go. Start spreading some more towards through the water and the air, trying to get those difficult ones like Madagascar and Iceland and Greenland. Iceland is here, this is Greenland. I still kind of think if the creators of this game could make a Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego game, and they had to put any kind of improvements that they were thinking about making a Plague Inc. on the back burner because of that, I would totally be cool with that. I'd be like, get me some Carmen Sandiego. That is really a game that I loved, mostly out of nostalgia, but I could learn to love it again. I really do think that I could. And I think the creators of this game would actually be probably well suited to start working on something like that. They've already figured out a interface that would be about right. The only difference is instead of clicking bubbles that pop up, it would pop up potential places where Carmen Sandiego or the henchman had flown, and we would have to investigate from a new secondary screen to eliminate or pick the right one. So let's say we last saw them in Australia, and the options would be America or China or Russia. We would double click on Australia. It would bring us to like an interrogation screen where we can interrogate some people, and we could try and through a game mechanic break them, and they would finally say, all right, she's in a communist country. And so you would then go, well, the United States right now isn't a communist country, which I'm not sure if Russia's in a communist country right now either, but, or a former communist country, let's say. China I think it still is. I'm pretty sure maybe Russia isn't. And then you'd have to interrogate some more, and they go, okay, she's in the largest land mass country ever. Well, that would be Russia. It should be, at least. So then you'd eliminate that. Then you'd click on the fly to Russia, and then you'd start interrogating somebody new or collecting evidence. Somebody new. It doesn't have to always be an interrogation. In fact, it would be even better if it wasn't always. could probably get a nice, pretty fast-paced version. That was kind of one of the problems with the old Carmen Sandiego game, which I know I'm talking about too much, but whatever. I still love it. Was that you would spend too much time investigating and not enough time flying around. And usually at the first level you only had to fly to maybe 3 to 5 places before you would catch the bad guy. So I could see how even at the beginning you'd have to fly 20 to 50 places to catch them. Or it could just be a timer thing, that the slower you are to get the information, the further they get, and if they get too far away, they'll get away scot-free. But yeah, that would work. And if you can't get the license to Carmen Sandiego, so what? Call it Catch Me If You Can. That can't be copyrighted, I'm pretty sure. Neuroenhancement has been mutated. I don't want that. We'll devolve that. Let's see. How many countries are not infected right now? None of them. Good. So all I need to really do is start spreading among the humans and killing the humans at 20% towards the cure. Drones targeting my guys. Come on, come on, come on. Move over. Move over. Alright, forget him. Well, I think that colony's been eliminated. Oh, it did move. Lucky me. Apes cause terror in Ukraine. Interesting. Red Ape Redemption Con. If they were able to do it where in the world, they could certainly do with close to no change a Where in the United States sequel. Just make this the United States. They could do Where in Europe without changing anything. It would only be a little bit difficult when they start getting to the like Where in Time type version. They would have to figure out how to make a timeline and have it go back and forth. Normally you would just make a timeline that way, but they could do some artistic things, have the timeline go wave back and forth. And then if you mess up, it could mess up the timeline, which would be a really cool mechanic, so that the timeline would start like a straight line. I hope you can follow this thought. If you're chasing after somebody in time, it starts as a straight timeline. Then they go back to a time before in the past, because obviously the present would be like the limit. Or maybe you could do the future at the very end. But they go back, and it causes like a ripple, so there's a loop line and then a ripple where there's a parallel timeline, and all of a sudden you're trying to deal with something different. That would be pretty cool. Come on, work. That didn't want to work. Didn't want to move. Alright. Doesn't matter. The humans are starting to die, and that's all that matters. Yeah, there could be a whole different system there. And then you would have a history game. So history and geography. If you could just figure out how to do math in it too, you'd potentially have a game that you could get into a lot more school centers at least. Even though Plague Inc. is played in schools somewhat every now and then, I don't think they can justify an entire like half year or year of a health class to playing it though. It may be a week or two of playing it and that's it. But this is the most you can convince a teacher to let him go. Well, back when I was in school, a long time ago before we had electricity, just kidding, there was a computer lab time, or at least it felt like, where we would just go to the computer labs like one day a week and play on the computers, not for any specific class. At least I think that's what we did. I can't really remember. I know I took a lot of computer classes and we were obviously in front of a computer the whole time then, but we never got to play games per se. Or we were never supposed to be playing games. Let me leave it at that. Yeah. I think we're about to win. Monkeypox has created the Planet of the Apes, and I've spent this entire episode telling the creators how to make a new Carmen Sandiego thing, which I would really love if they did. Anyways, that took 902 days of me talking about something barely related. Complex, 44% to the cure. Simian flu, 24,000 even. 3 biohazards. Nice. So we got ion deficient this time for our new modifier. Let's see what that does. Cost more to devolve, but it's harder to cure. Interesting. I don't think I'd use that because it doesn't make any sense. I am not getting anywhere close to being cured anyways. And we did monkeypox today. Tomorrow we will do, or next episode we will do smallpox, which is a pretty awful disease. So that's what we'll be doing next episode. I hope you enjoyed my rantings, and I hope the producers of this game are listening and can fulfill my every desire. But that's the end for this episode, so as always I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me, click on my name Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. If you want to follow or friend me on practically any social media site, all that information is down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.